She hurled a cup of urine at a director. She slapped crew members who touched her wig. Faye Dunaway, 84, finally reveals which renowned co-star made her life misery. They couldn't eat lunch together since their dispute was toxic. What occurred next stunned the crew. Hollywood hid this awful truth for years. Dorothy Faye Dunaway was born in Bascom, Florida, on January 14, 1941. U.S. non-commissioned officer John McDowell, Dunaway Jr., was her father. Army. Grace April Smith, her mother, was homemaker. Her family relocated often due to her father's military work. Mannheim hosted them 1 year. Germany? They visited Dugway, Utah, another year. The many moves impacted Dunaway's childhood. She learned to adapt fast wherever they traveled, but she also broadened her worldview. Her parents married young in 1939, but divorced. Dunaway was 14 when they separated in 1955. Max Simeon Dunaway, her younger brother, became a lawyer. Her ancestry was Ulster Scottish, Irish, and German. She was artistically inclined as a child. She studied ballet, tap, piano, and singing. She cared about more than performing. She meant it. Most sources list Bascom as her birthplace. However, Two Egg, Florida, residents claim her as their own. The village was too small for a post office, but locals considered her one, no matter her origin. Small-town upbringing didn't stop her from dreaming big. After Leon High School in Tallahassee, she received a teaching scholarship to the University of Florida. She wanted to educate, but her love of performing won out. Theater was her major at Boston University's School of Fine and Applied Arts, where she graduated in 1962. At Boston University, she worked with Lloyd Richards and performed in The Crucible, which Arthur Miller watched. Performed with Jane Alexander at Harvard's Loeb Drama Center in the summer. Training continued after graduation at 21. HB Studio and the American National Theater and Academy in New York were her schools. She acted quickly. She played Thomas More's daughter in A Man for All Seasons, on Broadway, in 1962, her graduation year. After then, her theatrical career took off. She appears in 1965's After the Fall and Hogan's Goat. Her performance in Hogan's Goat was lauded and launched her career. William Alfred, the play's author, mentored and fathered her. Later, she felt his influence was crucial to her life. She had a brief stage presence. She made her television debut in 1965 with Seaway and The Trials of O'Brien. These roles helped her move from stage to film. She had succeeded on Broadway, but television was different. Performances had to be more natural and subtle, adapted rapidly. Hollywood watched. Life changed for Faye Dunaway in 1967 as Bonnie Parker in Bonnie and Clyde. Before that, she had played few modest roles. Hollywood gossip surrounded her afterward. The picture about Bonnie and Clyde, two Great Depression criminals, was different from earlier crime films. Style, vitality, and a new feeling of danger. Bonnie was more than a bank robber after Dunaway's performance. She was smart, brave, and in love with Clyde. Her poise, keen gaze, and ability to glamorize crime had viewers enamored with her. A BAFTA for Most Promising Newcomer and an Oscar nomination for Best Actress followed. She also won the Best Foreign Actress David DiDonatello Award. In one film, she became famous. The film was initially contentious. The slow-motion shooting of Bonnie and Clyde in the finale startled viewers. Critics said it praised criminals. Some considered it a decade's most adventurous film. Over time, Bonnie and Clyde proved more than a hit, a turning point for Hollywood. Its mix of brutality, romanticism, and revolt was unique. It sparked the new Hollywood movement, where filmmakers experimented with storytelling. Dunaway and Warren Beatty's chemistry as Clyde Barrow helped the film succeed. Beyond co-star, Beatty was more. As movie producer, he had a say in practically every choice. Complete perfection was his goal. That caused tension between him and Dunaway, but their fights improved their performances. They created an electrifying on-screen relationship by feeding off each other. Critics noted. Roger Ebert, a renowned cinema critic, stated Dunaway and Beatty's performances were their greatest. The picture was released during transformation. In 1967, Americans were more skeptical of authority than ever due to the Vietnam War. Bonnie and Clyde matched the atmosphere. It didn't treat Bonnie and Clyde like criminals. Instead, it made them complex and likable. That was uncommon in Hollywood. Also notable was the film's style. Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino were influenced by its slow-motion violence, fast-paced plot, and intriguing crime. It affected movie ratings too. Hollywood strictly regulated violence and crime before Bonnie and Clyde. This picture broke the norms, introducing the contemporary rating system. Dunaway saw Bonnie and Clyde as only the start. Her filmography before 1967 included The Happening, although she was unknown. She became a Hollywood star afterward. Appeared in 1968's The Thomas Crown Affair, 1974's Chinatown, and 1976's Network. Each film revealed her different side. She played secretive Evelyn Mulwray in Chinatown. She played Diana Christensen in Network, a vicious TV producer. That role earned her an Oscar for Best Actress. Years later, Dunaway considered Bonnie and Clyde the film that changed everything. It made me famous, she said. I was among artistic actresses. The film not only made her famous, she entered film history. The 1970s saw Faye Dunaway's relentless march to celebrity. She was no ordinary Hollywood actress. On screen, she was powerful. Take on daring, difficult, and memorable roles. In 1968, the Thomas Crown controversy launched her career. She played Vicki Anderson, a smart insurance investigator, opposite Steve McQueen's rich bank heist mastermind Thomas Crown. Attraction and rivalry characterized their relationship. All of their scenes were battles of wits, but the chess scene was the best. Norman Jewison made it more than a game with close-ups and split-screen effects. Every glance and action built tension to become one of Hollywood's most renowned seduction sequences. It was clear Dunaway and McQueen clicked. Things weren't always easy off-screen. McQueen demanded $400 custom clothes, almost $3,500 now, and polo lessons. To be genuine. Theater-trained Dunaway concentrated on character depth. It worked despite their differing styles. The film was classic. The Windmills of Your Mind, its theme song, received an Academy Award, and Dunaway became renowned as an actress who could equal any leading man in intensity and intelligence. She was a star by 1974, but Chinatown immortalized her. She played Evelyn Mulwray, one of her most haunting portrayals. Evelyn first appeared lovely, secretive, and unreadable as a femme fatale. Her character became increasingly tragic as the film progressed, hiding a life-changing secret. She broke down and told her daughter Catherine the truth, which was awful. Not merely a shocking twist, absolute heartbreak. Investigator J.J. was played by Jack Nicholson. Gittes, a man seeking truth. He had tense, suspicious, and rare sweet moments with Dunaway. Her performance was lauded, one of the most complex films ever, according to Roger Ebert. Chinatown received 11 Oscar nominations, and Dunaway's performance was widely examined. But filming was hard. Roman Polanski was challenging. He pulled a stray hair off Dunaway, a notorious moment on stage, without notice, causing a fight. Even so, the film's tension behind the scenes boosted its vitality. Once on Network in 1976, Dunaway changed completely. She played ratings-obsessed TV executive Diana Christensen. It was a new job for her. Love didn't matter to Diana. Or values, She wanted achievement. She influenced everyone around her to push television limitations for bigger audiences. She kept thinking about business even in private. Her fearlessness as the character shocked critics. Diana was cruel, unapologetic, and unavoidable. Some thought the character was excessively cold and inhuman. It was exactly the point. She symbolized the new media era, where entertainment trumped ethics. Network's harsh assessment of television's future was alarmingly correct. Dunaway won the Best Actress Oscar, demonstrating her peak performance. She played a thriller in 1975, 3 Days of the Condor, between two weighty dramas. She had to balance fear, intelligence, and quick thinking as photojournalist Kathy Hale, who becomes involved in a CIA scheme. This film starred Robert Redford, a major performer at the time. Their chemistry heightened the film's intensity. Dunaway quipped off-screen that being kidnapped by Redford was hard to seem afraid. She played more than a romantic interest. She gave Kathy depth, making her a vigilant survivor. The movie was a hit and garnered her a Golden Globe nomination. She reached her career peak in the late 1970s. Mommy Dearest followed in 1981. The film that altered everything. She played Joan Crawford to showcase her talent. The film was based on Christina Crawford's book about her violent and domineering mother. Dunaway saw an opportunity to deepen a Hollywood mythology, but something went wrong. A serious drama became a comic unintentionally. During early screenings, Paramount Pictures noticed crowds smiling at distressing passages. Instead of pity, many laughed. Instead of a sorrowful mother-daughter story, it became a cult for the wrong reasons. Dunaway's career was defined by the film's most notorious sequence. Joan Crawford yells, "No wire hangers ever," while beating her daughter in rage. How Dunaway said it, her crazy look. Her overdone rage made it bigger than the picture. Not serious enough for audiences. Criticism was brutal. Roger Ebert rated it 1 star for its anguish. Won 5 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Actress for Dunaway. Despite making $25 million on a $10 million budget, the movie was damaged. Dunaway went from Oscar-winning actress to Hollywood excess. Been better. Dunaway was noted for her strong method acting and character immersion. This made dealing with Mommy Dearest difficult. Later, Joan Crawford's assistant, Rutanya Alda, reported Dunaway was dictatorial and demanding, causing set stress. Dunaway noticed how much the picture hurt her career after its release. She eventually hated the role because it misrepresented her. This actress was one of the best of her generation before Mommy Dearest. After that, directors hesitant to cast her. She had trouble finding roles in the 1980s that matched her prior fame. Television became her specialty in England. Ellis Island, a 1984 miniseries, earned her a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. She missed doing serious films. She later claimed that Chinatown scripts were more profound than television ones. Her personal life suffered too. Divorced photographer Terry O'Neill in 1987. In a tough decade, another setback. That year, she played a role that reminded spectators why she was famous. Gritty drama Barfly, based on Charles Bukowski's semi-autobiographical novel, cast her as Wanda Wilcox. She played an alcoholic victim in a poisonous relationship opposite Mickey Rourke. The part was raw and drab, loved by critics. One of her best performances, said Pauline Kael. Roger Ebert, who mocked Mommy Dearest, commended her for pushing herself like few actors. She won her 6th Golden Globe nomination, and she briefly appeared to be returning. She returned to television in the 1990s. She had a memorable appearance in Columbo in 1993. All in Play. The episode was written by Peter Falk, who portrayed the famed detective for Dunaway. Played Lauren Staton, a lovely socialite playing cat and mouse with Columbo. Electric chemistry between them. This episode focused on the two characters' conflict, unlike others in the series. She won the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress after receiving positive reviews. She later termed it her redemption, proving she could still command the screen. In 1996, she played opera great Maria Callas in Terrence McNally's Broadway production Master Class. The play imagined Callas teaching new singers in a master class, reliving her past. Dunaway meticulously studied Callas's voice and mannerisms by watching interviews and listening to recordings, one of her best performances. The part reflected Dunaway's struggle with fame, age, and perfection. Critics and audiences gave her standing ovations. She appeared in 2 Johnny Depp films at the same period. Arizona Dream, a 1993 surreal comedic drama, stars her as eccentric Elaine Stalker, who wanted to build a flying contraption. After failing at the box office, the picture became a cult classic. She played Marilyn Mickler, a woman finding romance through her husband's contacts with a man who thinks he's Don Juan, in Don Juan de Marco alongside Depp in 1995. Dunaway played the role with Marlon Brando with love and elegance. The picture reminded audiences of her skill and was warmly received. Though her jobs shrank, she remained acting until the 2000s. In 2017, she participated in Nicolas Cage and Gina Gershon's psychological thriller Inconceivable. Although the picture received mixed reviews, Dunaway gave her role depth. Her Oscar Awards presentation with Warren Beatty should have celebrated their film Bonnie and Clyde. It became one of the worst Oscar errors ever. Dunaway incorrectly proclaimed La La Land as the winner, when Moonlight had won due to envelope confusion. Mistake went viral instantly. It was not her fault, but it was another unique career episode. Faye Dunaway's love life was as dramatic as her films. She met Marcello Mastroianni in 1968 while filming A Place for Lovers. Their connection was explosive, and their on-screen romance became real. But there was a hitch. Flora Carabella was Mastroianni's wife. Despite that, he fell for Dunaway, and she loved him back. 2 years of passion and secrecy characterized their relationship. Dunaway avoided paparazzi by wearing wigs and big sunglasses when she visited him in Rome. However, Mastroianni declined to divorce his wife, who wanted marriage and children. A fervent Catholic, he believed marriage was forever. Dunaway hoped he would reconsider. In December 1969, she spotted Mastroianni and his wife smiling and loving at a Christmas dinner. Moment of clarity. He will never leave, she realized. She was heartbroken. She ended the relationship soon after. Years later, both regretted. Dunaway frequently wondered what life would have been like if they married. Mastroianni called her my favorite woman and never forgot her. Their romance is one of Hollywood's saddest. Dunaway moved on in 1972. That year, she met Jay Giles' lead singer Peter Wolf. San Francisco concert backstage. She was immediately drawn to him. His intriguing charisma, fierce energy, and deep voice. She couldn't resist. 2 years later, they married. The match appeared ideal. She was a Hollywood superstar. He was a rock star at his peak, but their schedules kept them apart. He traveled constantly. She was at every shoot. Distance got too much. Their marriage ended in 1979. Wolf denied that Love Stinks, his smash song, was about their separation. They divorced without animosity, unlike Hollywood. There was no controversy or fight, just two people whose careers took different paths. Dunaway called Wolf an essential part of her life following the divorce. A People magazine photo session in 1977 introduced her to British photographer Terry O'Neill. Their bond was immediate, but their romance was not. As their friendship deepened, they took a life-changing decision in 1980. Liam is their adopted son. 3 years later, they married. Outside, It seemed like a wonderful new chapter. Behind the scenes, things were tricky. Hollywood and personal differences slowly split them. The marriage ended in 1987. Rumors spread. Dunaway was accused of concealing Liam's birth. While O'Neill divorced his wife, some said Liam was adopted. O'Neill later felt their connection was too hard. He always affected Liam's life. For Dunaway, motherhood was her greatest role. She worked and raised Liam alone after her divorce. She included him in her world by taking him to film premieres and red carpet events. They stayed close as he grew up. Liam and Mackenzie Roth have Oliver in 2022. Liam and his mother made Faye, a Cannes Film Festival premiered documentary, in 2024. It covered her journey to popularity, mental health issues, and juggling stardom and personal life. Faye Dunaway was a gifted actress. Her off-screen activities garnered as much attention as her acting. An independent film team said she defecated on a costume out of spite, one of the most odd charges. The details are unknown, but the story became legendary for her diva behavior. Her co-workers called her demanding and uncompromising. She regularly insulted crew and co-stars. Whether accurate, this narrative fit into a lengthy history of erratic conduct that made her feared and admired in Hollywood. Her personal life was eventful too. In his 1995 biography, Waiting on the Moon, Peter Wolf, lead singer of the J. Giles Band, and her ex-husband, alleged that Dunaway had an affair with Jack Nicholson while married. This happened during Chinatown filming in 1973. Wolf was downstairs at home. He learned his reaction was explosive without knowing Dunaway was in bed with Nicholson above. He tossed a cocaine-covered coffee table into Nicholson's pool in anger. Wolf and Dunaway overcame this betrayal. They married in 1974, but had a rocky relationship. The couple separated in 1979 after years of battling. Not all romances failed. Marcello Mastroianni called Dunaway his favorite woman. They met in 1968, filming A Place for Lovers. Vittorio De Sica had to intervene in love sequences, occasionally dumping water on them due of their intense connection. However, Mastroianni was married to actress Flora Carabella during their 2-year romance. He stayed with his wife, devastating Dunaway. She broke up after seeing him with Carabella at a 1969 Christmas party. He never forgot her. He called Dunaway his lifelong love and regretted losing her till his 1996 death. Dunaway continued to get important parts in the 1980s, but her reputation for difficulty worsened. On the first day of filming Mommy Dearest in 1981, she smacked Rutanya Alda, unscripted and unplanned. She hit her hard. Afterward, Alda stated the scene established the tone for the production. A tense atmosphere. Dunaway's portrayal of Joan Crawford was so fierce and domineering that some thought she had become Crawford. One of her most famous roles, many who worked on the film described it as terrible, even in her later years. Her outbursts continued. She appeared in the 2019 Broadway play Tea at 5 about Katharine Hepburn. The production ended quickly. Dunaway was sacked before the show. Work was perilous, according to crew members. She slapped wig tweakers. Staff were pelted by her. She had odd rules like prohibiting white clothing around her, since it distracted her. She left angry voicemails for the creative team and made them clean her dressing room floor on their hands and knees, worsening the issue. She snapped after a performance was canceled minutes before the curtain due to an outburst. Producers were fed up.